go, guys. You know, when we staring at the drawers here, you know it's another declutter. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up. Ooh, we can't see. We gotta back on up. So in this drawer here, we have my concealers and we have primers. I can see right away boxes. That's gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Right off the bat, I see one of the products that I featured in my Worst of Beauty. Well, the products that I regret buying. I don't want to say Worst of Beauty because it may work for somebody. So, but for me, it doesn't work. It's the consistency is so thin and see-through. I don't see no point to this concealer. Even if I'm doing natural, then I don't need this concealer. It's just thin, the texture, the fact that this is the deepest shade in the line, all that, it has to go. So that's the first one that I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. These Jouer. I know I've had this deeper tone Jouer concealer for about maybe 2 years now, and then about a year after that I went ahead and picked up the lighter shade. I absolutely love this concealer. This was purchased around the time that I purchased that, what is it, the Hydrate and Set powder that they have. So those were the two products that I have tried from the Jouer line, and I absolutely fell in love with both of those products. So I would definitely like to explore more from the Jouer brand, but unfortunately these are, I would think these are expired. So this one, the deeper one, I've actually used so much that it's almost like dried up at this point. And then the lighter, it's not dried up, but it does kind of smell. It gives you that chemically kind of smell. So I would think that these are actually expired. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of those. Oh, I know this is expired. This is the Tarte Shape Tape. This was a fave like back in what? Probably like 2016, 2017. But ever since then, you know, I'm 40 years old now. At this point, this concealer is way too drying for underneath my eyes. They did come out with the Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape Ultra Creamy version. This is the hydrating version of Shape Tape. Now, it doesn't have the full potency of coverage that the original Shape Tape has, but I do still like it. It's nice and hydrating under the eyes, and it has a decent enough coverage for me to keep that one. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the old one, and I'm going to keep the new one. This is the Fenty Beauty Bright Fix Concealer. I have the shade Pumpkin, which is more of a color corrector shade, as you can tell by the orangey shade that comes there. And this I purchased last year. I'm going to hang on to that because I do like this as a color corrector. Another newer purchase for me for concealers. This is the Patrick Star One Size Turn Up the Base Concealer. This is actually the shade Deep 2. I did do a review, but I went ahead and changed the shade of it because the deep one was like too bright, and this one is more of a skin tone shade but a little deeper than my skin tone, but I still use it as a color corrector type concealer. So this one, it dries really fast. So if you do have it, I do suggest that you apply it, blend it, apply it, blend it like that, because this one dries really fast, and once it sets, it's not budging. So that's what I do like about it. But again, you have to blend really quickly when it comes to this One Size concealer. Another newer concealer in my repertoire, and I'm definitely gonna hang on to this for a little while longer. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have two of the Too Faced Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer. I have the shades Mahogany and Chestnut. The Chestnut, I've used so much of it, it's probably all the way down here. Even on this big old bottle, I've definitely used quite a bit of it. So I think this is the first, well, I know this is the first one that I had, and it's probably expired by now, so I'm going to get rid of this one. This one, in the shade Mahogany, I did receive from a BoxyCharm, and I know that was sometime last year, so I'm going to hang on to this one. This is one of the best formulas on concealer that I have had, and I absolutely love this. This is the perfect everyday kind of go-to concealer. It gives just enough coverage, it has just enough staying power, and just enough hydration. Three things that I'm always looking for in a concealer, so this is definitely one of my favorites, and I'll be hanging on to the Mahogany Born This Way concealer. This Maybelline Master Camo Corrector, this is my second pen of these, and this is one of those that has like the sponge tip applicator, and I just hate how ooky and gooky it gets. So with this one being such an affordable product, if I do decide to get another color corrector, I would pick it up from the drugstore. It is a nice good one. Again, this is my second one, so I obviously believed in it so much to actually get a second one. I was happy to have a drugstore corrector, being that I have the Fenty Beauty now, and being that the sponge tip looks just like a hot mess. I am going to get rid of this one, but this is one that I also do recommend. I spoke to you guys about the conceal and hydrate. I spoke to you guys about the conceal and hydrate in my foundation video, in my foundation declutter video. I told you guys I bought the foundation that I still haven't used as of yet, and here's the concealer that, again, I still haven't used as of yet. So I'm gonna hang on to this because this is practically brand new. Then we have the Urban Decay Stay Naked Correcting Concealer. This one was in the shade 60NN, which is not really my shade. I used to wear it and mix it, and if I'm not mistaken, these products came out back in 2019. So I've had this in my collection for a good amount of time, and I think I got a pretty good amount of usage of this product. You can see here on the bottle. So I did get my money's worth, in my opinion. I might not have used the whole thing, but again, as I say in these kind of videos, with a collection with various products of one type, it's rare that I'm going to actually finish up a full bottle of something. So I feel like I got my money's worth when it came to this one. If I can get a better shade, I would, because it has nice staying power. This is another one of those concealers that has nice coverage on it and very comfortable to wear. So I really enjoyed this one, but I am going to declutter it because I'm pretty sure that this is expired. I have two concealers here from McGrath, and I'm sad to say that this concealer is no longer one of my favorites. It used to be a favorite for such a long time. I used to use MD27 as a color correcting shade, and then to add a little bit of brightness, I would go in with the MD23. And you can definitely see that I have some usage on these bottles. I've definitely used these a lot, but it's not necessarily my favorite concealer at the moment anymore. I just checked the bottom of the vials, and it does say that these have shelf lives of 6 months, which I know I've had it definitely longer than that. So I'm gonna go ahead and part with both of these concealers. As much as it hurts, I am going to go ahead and get rid of it because I'm pretty sure that these are expired. So, you know, I like a concealer a lot when I have two different shades of it. So these concealers are from Juvia's Place. This is their, it doesn't say the name of it here. Lighter one is in the shade 12, and then the deeper one is in the shade 9. I enjoy these concealers as well. As a matter of fact, for an affordable concealer, these do a really good job. So I would say these are definitely a highly recommend kind of product from Juvia's Place. I've definitely had these concealers well over 12 months. So another one that I'm sad to see go, but I am gonna go ahead and get rid of it just for the fact that I don't want to put anything that is expired up on my face and make room for new stuff. So yeah, these are gonna go. Now this one is a concealer that I've gone back and forth with. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. Mine was in the shade Caramel, and this is one of the concealers that I actually went back and forth with whether I liked it or not. Like, it really does have good coverage, but I don't think it was just a shade thing. Like, it was too much of an olivey undertone for me, and I really wasn't with that, so I didn't reach for it that much. But I definitely did get some use out of it. If you could see from the packaging here, I am all the way like down to here because it was just so easy, and this is something that I would use to mix with other concealers. It's nice and creamy and not too drying up under the eyes. This actually has a shelf life of 24 months, which I'm really surprised to see. So let me see. But it has that smell where it smells like paint thinner, and I don't know if I want to put that on my face. So being that I'm so up and down with this concealer, I'm just gonna go ahead and declutter it. The Lancome concealers I spoke to you guys about in recent videos, these I actually picked up just last year, so I'm definitely gonna hang on to these. I really enjoy these. These are nice and hydrating underneath the eyes, perfect for everyday wear. It's not too high full coverage or anything like that, but it does just enough. You only need a little bit of this concealer and it goes a long way. It blends out really smoothly and very comfortable to wear, so I really do enjoy this. The lighter shade here is the shade 460, and then the deeper one there is shade 500. And in the Lancome Tainty Doll Ultra Wear Foundation, I wear the shade 510. So I think I have a good range of base products from Lancome, and I'm definitely going to be getting more wear out of these concealers. These are my absolute favorite concealers from the drugstore. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Long Wear Concealer. The lighter shade is 165 and the deeper shade is 175. If you're wondering why I get two shades of concealer, usually I'll get one that's more of my skin tone, which will help me to color correct the darker areas on my face that I'm trying to conceal. And if I want to add a little bit of highlight and brightness to my skin, then I'll go in with the lighter shade. So that's why I have two of these. This is another one. First of all, Don't get scared by the scent, because this smells like paint thinner from jump. There's no, it wouldn't bad or anything like that. That's just how it smells. That's what it is. But the coverage on this, the blendability, the comfortability, this concealer is everything. Hands down, my top #1 concealer from the drugstore. Not too far behind that is the e.l.f. concealers, but I don't think I have any more of the e.l.f. concealers because they didn't make it through the last foundation. Well, they didn't make it through the last concealer declutter that I did. But at this point, I think these are expired because it says it expires in 12 months, and I'm pretty sure I had these ever since 2020. So sadly, this has to go, but I absolutely love these. And if I ever wanted to, you know, if I suggest anything from the drugstore, if you're looking for a full face, this would be something I would definitely pick up again, because this is my absolute favorite concealer from the drugstore. This concealer is no longer in production. This is from the Kylie Cosmetics line. As you can see, it says Kylie Jenner down there. Mine was in the shade Almond, and this was a really nice concealer as well. I wasn't mad at this concealer. The shade wasn't like spot on, and I did only have one, so this was more like, with it being like the almondy color that it is, it actually did provide a little bit of color correction as well as coverage. So that's why I really enjoyed this one. It was nice and lightweight and smooth underneath the eyes. But they no longer make this concealer. You know, Kylie Cosmetics, they revamped their whole line, and I'm pretty sure she'll come out with a new concealer at some point, and hopefully it's as good as this one, because this one was bomb. But yeah, I am gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. This one, I knew I hated out the gate. I don't even understand why the wording is rubbed off, because I only used it the one time. Maybe I used it more than one time, but the coverage on this one is just way too much of an olivey undertone for me, or maybe too golden. It's just pale. This had a terrible shade range. This is 060 Deep, another drugstore brand that just doesn't do right by concealers for us. So yeah, that I am gonna go ahead and get rid of. Is one that I have never even tried, so I'm gonna hang on to this. I bought this sometime last year, and this is from Essence. This is their Camouflage Matte Concealer. It says it's waterproof and it has tattoo coverage, so we're gonna put that to the test. I do have an Essence foundation that I showed you guys in my foundation declutter that I have never tried on my face as well, so I'll definitely be putting these products to the test in the months to come and letting you guys know my thoughts on these products. So I'm gonna hang on to this for a little while longer, and we'll see how that works out for me. Now, I just recently spoke to you guys about the Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer that they have. Mine is in the shade 5N. I spoke to you guys about this in the products I regret buying video, so I'm not going to spoil you that. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to link it up in the cards for you guys to check that out. But for now, even though it was featured in the products I regret buying video, I am going to hang on to it. I am going to hang on to it for a little while longer, and if you want to know why, definitely check out that video. You guys, if you saw my foundation declutter video, you would know my disappointment in seeing that the expiration date on that foundation was only 9 months. Well, they had this little sticker here at the bottom of the concealer, and I peeled that off, and this says that the concealer expires in 6 months. I know I've had this longer than 6 months. I really did enjoy this concealer, but sadly it does have to go out of my collection. I don't know if I'm going to be buying more of the Rare Beauty foundation products. To me, this is for people that will use up products so fast that I feel like if you use it every day, you just may finish it up in time before it expires. But I don't think I'm going to be addressing more of the Rare Beauty products, only because they expire so fast, and with a collection that's, you know, as vast as I have, it just doesn't make sense for me to buy products knowing that it's going to expire. So Rare Beauty, I'm going to need y'all to come out with some minis so we can get this back in the repertoire, because I wouldn't mind spending half price for half the size amount of product, because I did enjoy this product. But I just don't see me buying it again knowing how fast it expires. So sadly, this has got to go. And if you're wondering, my concealer shade was in the shade 440C. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Corrector. I have mine in the shade 310, and I'm definitely going to hang on to that. I had got this towards the end of 2020. This has an expiration of 18 months, so I'll definitely have some time to get a little bit more use out of this one. So I'm definitely going to hang on to my Magic Corrector a little while longer. I have an OG product that I just keep in the box because I've never used it as of yet, but this is the MAC Prep and Prime. This is actually a highlighter, but do y'all remember the days when we used to use this peach luster for a color corrector? So I have a brand new Prep and Prime color corrector here that I'm going to keep in the stash for now. I have yet to open that, so it shouldn't be bad at all. I had to wipe this bad boy off because it has powder and everything down there. I have to clean that out. But this is the Tarte C Hydrating Concealer. Let me tell y'all, this was really nice. And for me, this is the kind of sample I'm talking about. This is a good amount of sample. I was able to use this. This is the shade Tan Deep Sand, and I really did enjoy this. It's nice and hydrating. It gave a nice amount of coverage. This only has a shelf life of 6 months, so sadly I am gonna go ahead and get rid of it. After I tried it, I knew I liked it, and then I just never readjusted it again, so you know, it can go. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Brighten Concealer. This is actually very lightweight, and I would use this more as like what that MAC Prep and Prime highlighter is. This actually is kind of like a dupe of that, because this just adds nice hydrating brightness underneath your eyes. And I know I purchased this sometime last year, so I'm gonna hang on to this a little while longer. This is there's no expiration date like listed on the packaging or anything, but being that I know I purchased it last year, I'm gonna hang on to it a little bit longer. It is like that kind of push applicator where you push the product and it comes up on the brush. And I like to mix this in with concealers when I'm trying to add a little bit of brightness to my eyes. So yeah, I'm gonna hang on to this and get some more use out of that. And then last but not least, I have the Kevyn Aucoin. This is the Sensual Skin Enhancer. I have mine in the shade SX12. I've had this concealer for like eons. This is the shade SX12. I've used so much of this product. Like you can see, it has like a well down there. It is a cream product, and cream products do tend to go bad a little bit faster, but I only use this nowadays for like underneath my brows if I'm carving out my brows and I want like that nice highlighted look under there. So I am gonna keep it. This is the one exception I'm gonna keep as far as expired products, but there is no expiration date on the bottom, as you can see there. I don't know if it expires. I just don't. This is a pretty expensive concealer and I don't want to get rid of it. So I went ahead and threw my concealers back in the drawer. I have the plastic thing here that I need to clean out here on the side just so I can remember, but I have a total of 9 concealers and 4 color correctors left in my collection. I think that is a nice starting point for 2022. I have the ones that I am decluttering. This is another successful declutter. I'm actually getting rid of more concealers than I actually kept. We have 16 concealers that I'm getting rid of, and then 1 color corrector, which is that Maybelline Master Camo, which is a really good color corrector that you guys can pick up from the drugstore if you're looking for a color corrector. But yeah, that basically concludes my concealer declutter. Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. The next declutter that we'll do will probably come back into this drawer, and my concealers will be organized correctly in their tray, and then we're gonna go ahead and tackle these primers in the next declutter. If you haven't already subscribed, definitely subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys could be alerted when that declutter video and any other videos that I post do go live. I want to thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. If you're new here, take a look around, watch some videos that I have here on the screen for you guys. Feel free to binge watch this playlist, and I hope you guys will consider to join the fam. And until next time, I hope to catch each and every one of you in the next video. Until next time, y'all, stay blessed. Later, guys.